And here now with an editorial reply to a recent Record Journal Athlete of the Week show is Miss Emily Littell.
What's all this fuss I keep hearing about antiques of the week? Now, I go antique shopping at least twice a week, and nobody asked me who I thought antiques of the week should be. Why, there is this antique shop in Frederick, Maryland, where they have those little Russian nesting dolls that go inside of each other. But then I heard that these dolls were puddling in the presidential election.
No, Miss Littell, that's not puddling in the presidential election. That was meddling in the presidential election.
Oh, well, this is an outrage. Is something being done about this?
Not really. But for now, it's time for Record Journal Athletes of the Week. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may happen to be tuning in. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record Journal, and welcome to the Spring Athlete of the Week show, week number 4. We're back in the cozy confines of the locker room. Spence, you feeling at home? You came all the way out to my house last week, man. You came all the way out, and I didn't even treat you to lunch. I made you mow my lawn. You're such a good sport, Spencer. Good to be back here in the locker room. Week 4, Athletes of the Week. We've got our winners. Fresh new slate of candidates. Right off the bat, want to say hello to our friends at Hergott Dental Associates. Glad to have you aboard. I do want to make an appointment, though, for Spencer to get his teeth cleaned. But there's that beautiful smile again, Spencer. All right, we got 6 fresh smiles for you this week. First, we're going to give you our winners from week 3. Hey, we had some good voting. Spence, did you see the totals? They were really, really good. And you never know sometimes who's going to win. You think you can guess? You never know. Our boys winner? Well, maybe we should have seen this coming because his baseball team's been doing a lot of winning. He is from Wilcox Tech Baseball. Mr. James Theriault. Caught up with him earlier this week.
This is Sean Krufsik here. We're at Wilcox Tech High School. We're here with James Theriault, who is coming off a big week. We talked to him last week about his no-hitter and deservingly the Athlete of the Week. James, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what does it mean to you for you to be selected Athlete of the Week?
It means a lot. Last year, I remember I was nominated, but I didn't get it. And this year, it feels great to actually get it.
Yeah, you get a lot of support out there. A lot of people said they were going to vote for you.
Yeah, my family, I told everyone, I was like, make sure you vote. Make sure you vote as many times as you can. So. Yeah,
so now, it's been a little while since that no-hitter, but tell us again about that day, all those strikeouts and the no-hitter.
I mean, as soon as I came into the game, I was just like, I wasn't really feeling it from the start. I was really tired. And then I just started throwing away, and I was just like, oh, this could be a good game. And then I just kept throwing, striking them out, and I was just like, all right. And then they couldn't catch up with my fastball. And then, boom, 13 guys down, and we won.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
James, thank you for taking time out to speak with Sean and Spencer again. Of course, we spoke with Theriault when we did the feature on Wilcox baseball. They haven't lost since then, Spencer. They won last night 1,006-1. They actually gave up a run. James, congratulations to you, and you guys keep up the good work over there at Wilcox Tech. Coach Dave Cronin's team in the midst of another excellent season, just tearing up the CTC. You know who else is tearing it up? Our girls winner and her team from Southington Girls Lacrosse. She is Miss Brook Lynch. We also caught up with her just the other day.
All right. We're here at Southington High for our female winner of the Athlete of the Week contest, and it's Brook Lynch, junior, for the girls lacrosse team. Brooke, congratulations on being Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what's this year been like for the team?
It's been a really good year. I think we came off with a good start and we came out aggressive, and I think it's been great because we've all been playing for so many years and the team chemistry is great, and it just kind of pushes for our success.
So you have 19 goals now this year. Tell me about your offensive output.
I think, honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do it without my team. They really helped me and pushed me to be better. And I think just working off of the team chemistry, because we've all been playing since, preschool, and I think it's just good because we know when we're going to cut and, we know the passes, and I think it's just really helped with all of our success.
Yeah. So you guys are 8-3 in the season. Is that exceeded your expectations to this point?
I think it's right where we want to be. We want to make tournament, and I think just going off of last year, we want to keep pushing for more wins, and I think we're doing good and we're at a steady pace right now.
Brooke, thank you for taking time out to speak with Spence and Shawnee before practice the other day. I guess it was crazy at Southington when you showed up. I saw your text messages there, Spence. What was going on there? Jeez. You had to park like 5 miles away. But you're a trooper. Spence walked all the way there to get that interview. So we're going to move on to our Week 6 slate of candidates. And you know what? We're going to go from Brook Lynch of Southington Girls Lacrosse to our first girls nominee of Cheshire Girls Lacrosse. Coach Dan Warburton's team, again, another fine season. So many candidates week in and week out. We could really pick someone from this team every week. Who do we pick this week? For the 9-1 Rams, we're in the midst of a long 5-game winning streak. We picked sophomore Miss Raegan Bailey. Raegan, A before E, Bailey. She had 5 goals against Staples last week. Strike it. Reverse it. Start again. Miss Bailey had 4 goals against Staples, 5 goals against Guilford. And we mentioned those 2 games in particular, not only for what Raegan did, but for what the Rams did. Staples had been undefeated. Guilford had been undefeated. No more. Cheshire beat both of those teams. Some good games. 16-15, 16-13. Cheshire smoked Laurelton Hall the other day to extend their winning streak to 5. And Raegan Bailey had 2 goals in that game and also a career-high 5 assists. She's a scoring machine. And Spence, I got to say, because you were at my house last week, her mom, Megan Bailey, spelled the regular way, not the A before the E. Megan Bailey, her mom, works in the Portland school system where my kids go to school. It's a very small, wonderful world. Raegan Bailey, good to have you aboard. Girls candidate number 1 here in Week 4. Our second girls candidate, we've had her in our neighborhood before. She's been around the block even though she's still very young. She is a sophomore. She is from Sheehan High School. She is Miss Elizabeth Lizzie Brown. And Lizzie, last week in the Cheshire dual meet, Cheshire and Sheehan, it was on her birthday. And Lizzie goes out and wins the 800, 1600, the 3200. That's a lot of running, kid, on your birthday. She wins all 3 races, comes back on Saturday at the Ledyard Relays, takes second in the 3200, and anchors the sprint medley relay, which also finished second. Liz Brown, she was an athlete of the week last year. She was an all-RJ cross country. The kid can run. She can go the distance. She is girls nominee number 2 here in Week 4. Our third and final girls nominee from Wilcox Tech softball. She is, who could it be? Because Wilcox Tech, like the baseball team, tears it up. They've got kids, multiple hit games, game in and game out. Well, here's one of them. She is Miss Alex Nissle. Wilcox Tech has, like the baseball team, one of the best teams in the CTC. Last week's 3-game stretch, all victories for Wilcox. Alex had 9 hits, 13 at-bats, 8 RBIs. Alex, keep it up. They've got another game coming up with Platt. We'll see what happens in that one. Platt took the first game. For now, Alex Nissle, girls nominee number 3 here in Week 4. Let's move over to our boys slate of nominees. We're going to start, we have 2 baseball players from Meriden. Go east-west, ABC. We're going to start at Maloney on the east side. Maloney and Platt, as you view this video now, it comes out at 6 o'clock. Well, if you're a big baseball fan of Meriden, you know Maloney and Platt are playing like right now. It's first pitch. So maybe this would be a little bit of an entertainment when you come home tonight. But know now that both teams are pretty hot going into that game. From Maloney, we are going with this young man, Mr. Evan Avery. He had the 2-run winning single against Farmington last Wednesday. He comes up bottom of the 6th. It's a tie game. Evan Avery connects for 2-run single. Maloney wins that game 6-4, and Evan came away from that game batting .416. Only a starter, only a sophomore. He's already starting. And one reason I wanted to go with Evan, because he got a number of kids doing well for Coach Ricky Marrero's team, wanted to go with Evan because he came off an indoor track season in which he was part of school records in the 4x4 and 4x8 relays. So playing a little catch-up with Evan. He's been lapping me on the track. 2-run game-winning single last week, batting .416. Put him in the books. Evan Avery. Boys nominee number 1 in Week 4. Second boys nominee, he's in action right now over at Seppa Field. He is from the Platt Panthers. Junior Andrew McCarty. Again, Coach Tim Redekin's team, like Dave Cronin's, Ricky Marrero's, a lot of kids doing a lot of good stuff. Wanted to go with Andrew because he was in the middle of pretty much everything last week for the Panthers, and he won 3 games to shake off a little slump they had been going through. Now, Andrew drove in the game-winning run in the 8th inning against Tall with a fielder's choice, bottom of the 8th, brought in the winning run. And then he had 2 doubles and 2 RBIs against Windsor, and he did it again on Monday up in Enfield. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. Andrew McCarty, that gets you on the starting lineup, no doubt, here in Week 4. Andrew McCarty, Platt Baseball, boys nominee number 2. Third and final boys nominee, boys volleyball. Big match last Thursday, Southington and Newington, 2 undefeated teams. Newington 11-0, defending Class M state champs. Southington 9-0. Newington's up 2-0 in that game. Southington comes back and they win 3-2, and it was in Newington. Huge win for Coach Lou Giannakopoulos and his Blue Knights. And the big guy there, right here, senior Tim Walsh. Best players come up big in the biggest games, and Tim certainly did that at Newington. 24 kills, and a big player on defense too with 11 digs. You know, Tim's going on to play at St. Francis in New York. He is the reigning Record Journal Boys Volleyball Player of the Year for a reason. Tim, good to have you back aboard the bus, the Athlete of the Week bus. Boys nominee number 3 here in week 4. Exhale. Spence, that is a wrap, my man. That is a wrap. It's Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Platt Maloney are playing over at Supperfield. I'm heading that way. Spence, we heading that way? We are. But you have from tonight all the way through to Sunday at midnight to vote for our 6 new nominees, Athlete of the Week. Voting's been very good. We'll bring you next week's winners next week. We got a special treat planned, by the way, Spence. A little hockey motif. Get ready for it. I might need your physical size to be a bodyguard for me. We'll see what we have in store for next week. For now, I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record Journal. Thank you again to our friends at Hergott Dental Associates. Glad to have you aboard. We'll be seeing you soon, June 23rd. Best of the Bunch Awards Brunch. It's coming up very fast. Look for invitations. Be good.